Hello friends, welcome to my channel, and today I am going to show you on this Toyota Fortuner how to clean the mass airflow sensor, MAF sensor as it is called. How to clean it I am going to show you. So here is the MAF sensor next to the air filter. I am going to show you how to clean it. So I'll explain you about the MAF sensor or the mass airflow sensor. So before that, understand that all the modern cars have typically an air filter box over here. The air filter's job is actually to, when the air is getting pumped inside using those vents, the air filter is going to just clean up the air so that all the dust and the muck and everything is getting filtered using the air filter over here in the air filter box. And after the air filter, the air is actually sent using the air intake tube inside the engine for further combustion purposes. So that is the air filter's job, it sends inside. Now how much of the air is required for the combustion? So it's a simple thing, you need air and you need some kind of sparks or something, and then the explosion and the combustion happens. So how much is the air required inside is actually typically these days controlled by a computer or an ECU or some kind of a chip as we call it. So how much of the air is going actually inside. So in case of a clogged filter, you will have some less air getting inside, and if the filter is clean enough, more air will go. So that's actually the filtration process. Over here, when the air gets inside, so how much of the air is actually getting inside the air intake, this is to be calibrated. In this calibration, this data is to be sent to the ECU, the computer, so that the necessary fuel is injected for an optimum combustion. We have some kind of a background noise over here, so pardon that background noise. Yes, so as I said, how much of the actual air is getting inside the engine, this is calibrated, this data is taken into account by the ECU, and then the necessary fuel at the right timing using the timing belts and things like that, the camshafts and things like that, the combustion would happen in the engine. So it is very necessary that we know exactly how much air is going inside, and for that you have the mass airflow sensor. It's like a sensor that how much of the mass of the air is actually getting inside the engine is to be calibrated. So you can come closer, I'll just show you over here the diagram. In my car, this is the air filter. It's just a little bit dirty from the outside, nothing to worry. The air filter is clean, I regularly clean it, and from the air filter over here the air comes, it's getting filtered, and it goes inside this tube towards the engine side. You can see over here. So in between over here, the filtered air, we have a sensor. Typically in most of all the cars, this is the MAF sensor. In my car, MAF sensor is located after the filtered air. So all the dust and everything is first removed, and then you want to actually calibrate how much is the air going inside. So this is the MAF sensor, and the MAF sensor is made of very minute filaments. I'm going to show you in a while. And the filtered air goes through small filaments over there, and based on the filament values, the data is sent using this kind of wire to a CPU or the ECU, whatever you call it, a simple computer, so that the computer knows that how much air did actually go inside. So this is the MAF sensor inside. What happens? This mass airflow sensor, generally it works for many years. It really runs for many years. Nothing really happens, and you regularly anyways clean up your air filter box or replace the filter as and when required when the filter is dirty, so that clean air goes inside and the right optimum amount of air volume or the air mass is actually going inside, and this guy calibrates. But what happens is once in a while this MAF also needs to be cleaned, just like an air filter, because ultimately there might be small particles which might escape your air filter, and then there are small tentacles, very minute tentacles in this MAF sensor. Those tentacles sometimes have to take the hit of those small dust particles as well. So those small dust particles would stick on to those small tentacles of the MAF sensor, and it would result in maybe a dirty MAF. What is a dirty MAF? So that because of the dust, it could not actually calibrate how much of the air actually came inside. Because it could not calibrate, this wrong data is sent to the CPU, that not enough air is coming, or less of the air is coming because of those filaments getting dirty, and because of that you might have some kind of misfirings, or you can have some kind of erratic behavior. Your accelerations are not smooth, or the low end torque is not smooth. You might observe any of those kind of things, or your pickup is not good, or even the mileage is not good. all of those could be one of the reason, because of the simple fact that how much of the air was getting inside is not calibrated properly because of a dirty MAF. So today what we are going to do, we are just going to clean up this MAF. On my car, this MAF, I remember it's not been cleaned since ages. It's not been cleaned, and my car has really run a long while over here. It's more than 1,15,000 kilometers. It's 115k kilometers. I don't remember cleaning this. It's generally not required if nothing is gone wrong, but it doesn't harm to clean this MAF as well. So I'm going to show you exactly on the Toyota Fortuner 2015 model, how do you clean a MAF. This procedure is more or less same for most of the other cars as well. Do it with extreme caution. However, it's just an easy job to do it easily at home. So stay tuned. So before opening the MAF sensor, what I'm going to do is remove your key from the ignition. Don't leave your key in the ignition, just remove it because we are working with the electricals, so don't keep your ignition on. And over here I have my small toolkit ready. I just need this and this for now. 10 11 spanner, and first I'm going to just disconnect the negative of the battery. This is the positive, this is the negative. I'm going to just disconnect the battery. There is a reason I'm going to disconnect the battery, because I'm working with the electricals. I don't want anything to be shortened up or anything going wrong. And the primary reason I'm going to disconnect the battery over here is because, as I said, the mass airflow has been running. It has been giving information to the CPU. The CPU stores the information in the real time based upon how much of the air and how much of the other calibration data has been stored over here. And I'm going to clean up. So after the cleaning, there will be slight change in the value. It takes a while for the CPU to relearn the values while you are actually riding. Maybe you can ride for 10-15 kilometers, something like that, and it will read the new values after cleaning up the MAF. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to disconnect, and possibly I've just read somewhere that once you disconnect the battery for maybe 10-15 minutes, it deletes those real-time values and starts to relearn it. I don't know. Let's see. Anyways, for a safe side, I'm just going to disconnect this battery and just wait a while. Yeah, so as I said, always disconnect the negative first. So this is, I have disconnected the negative, and you just tuck in somewhere over here, or you can put some plastic bag around it so that it doesn't again form the connection over here, and just disconnect this particular thing from the battery. Always disconnect the negative. If you are going for some, let's say you are going to go outstation for many days, and you are not going to run your car for many days, or maybe even your motorcycle bike, just disconnect the negative and it's good to go. It's not going to discharge. So anyways, and this over here, what you see over here, those small round tabs over here, and you can see the red tab over here. These are terminal protectors. I got these terminal protectors by Noco, NOCO, Noco brand, and these terminal protectors actually help not to get those sulfations on those terminals. You can watch my video. I'll put the link in the description. Watch my other video about these Noco terminals. So anyways, I've disconnected this battery, and then I move on to the other part. Okay, so now on this side, what we are going to do, we are going to disconnect the MAF. So you can see over here, on this particular MAF sensor, you have this connection, and what you need to do is, there is a clip given over here. You have to gently just press this clip and just come this side and disconnect it. Press this clip and disconnect this particular thing. Ensure that nothing is pulled with force. You just have to disconnect this, and I'll just put it over here. And this is the Phillips Star 4-point. You can see over here, use always the exact kind of wrench. These are the two screws you just need to remove, and I just put it out over here. Don't use the wrong size, otherwise it is going to damage those screws. So I'm just going to gently remove both the screws, and just watch carefully. Those two screws are out. This is out. I'm going to place it here. And now watch it carefully. This is an extremely sensitive part, so watch it carefully how the MAF sensor comes out. You see, can you try to focus on this particular part? Exactly on the small filament. You see this small filament over here? This is in the direction, as I pulled, this is in the direction of the airflow. So after the air is filtered, from here, the air comes and it is filtered using the air filter. It goes over here. The air passes from that hole and touches this filament. There are small filaments inside as well over here. It's kind of difficult to see because it's a small hole out there. Anyways, and this is one bigger filament. Don't touch the filament. This is an extremely delicate part, extremely delicate filaments. Don't touch it. I'm just repeating, don't touch any of those filaments and handle it gently. So this is in the direction of the air. Air goes over here and comes out from the other side. So I'm going to show you the other side of the filament. You can see the difference. On this side it is shining. Can you see it? It is shining because it is on the other side of the air. This side it is black. Can you see that wire? And that voltage difference is measured using when the air hits over on those tentacles, there is a small voltage difference. The voltage difference and all those things, maybe a couple of other things, are calibrated and these signals are sent from these wires to the CPU, so you know exactly how much of the air is getting inside. So let's think that this is quite clogged. So if this is clogged, then it will sense less amount of air. If it is open, it will sense more amount of air. So the sensing gives you a data back to the ECU. So if that value is wrongly calibrated, then you might have some kind of misfire, or pickup is not good, or your mileage is getting bad, all those kind of things, because you get a wrong value. So as you see on this side and this side, and there is a small construction. I can see it. There is a small filament inside. I can see it, but it would be very difficult to capture inside over here. But with a naked eye you can see. I'm repeating, don't touch any of those filaments. Don't do it. I'm going to show you a very simple mechanism to clean this at home at all very less cost. But you have to be extremely patient, extremely caution. I just covered it with this kind of cloth. And now I'm going to show you how I'm going to clean this mass airflow sensor. So here you have Toyota Fortuner mass airflow sensor. I'm going to show you how to clean this. Okay, stay tuned. So to clean this MAF sensor, mass airflow sensor, what do you require? You just require isopropyl alcohol. You can get this isopropyl alcohol from any of the pharmacist or chemist, medical shop. Get this isopropyl alcohol. You just need this. There are methods to do with specialty sprays as well, but the main ingredient in all those specialty sprays is isopropyl alcohol. This isopropyl alcohol has many usage. It is used in medical for maybe disinfecting the skin while during an injection or something like that. Disinfecting, and it contains a lot of alcohol, so it is disinfectant. It can be used for cleaning up your electronics as well. So if you have, let's say, even a motherboard, a CPU motherboard, or the circuits, any of the electrical parts, switches, anything, you can just wash it using isopropyl alcohol. It washes it and it dries up very quickly. Since it dries up very quickly and it doesn't leave any of the oily residues, it is very good for electrical contact cleaning as well. And over here we have got an extremely sensitive part, those kind of tentacles. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use wash those tentacles using this isopropyl alcohol itself. So I need this isopropyl alcohol. So apart from the isopropyl alcohol, over here for my setup, what I have just got this small spray bottle from one of the local shops over here. You can use, if you already have a bottle over here like this kind of a spray at home, just a dry one. Ensure that it doesn't have any water or anything like that. It has to be dry, and keep this thing very carefully, it should not fall or something like that. And I've taken a Ziploc bag, and that's it. You need to have a clean rag, but that's okay. Isopropyl alcohol is the main thing, something to spray, Ziploc bag to actually rinse it up, and that will clean my mass airflow sensor. So stay tuned. So I've taken my spray bottle and this isopropyl alcohol, and I'm just going to fill this my spray bottle with this isopropyl alcohol so that I can use that in my cleaning purpose. Close this isopropyl alcohol bottle because it's going to evaporate very fast. It's alcohol, do not drink. That's different. This is medicated, different one. And stay away from kids or anything while you are working. And let's start doing it. Now you should wear gloves, but that's okay. Just hold it carefully, and this is, I'm going to give the first rinse on the sensor, sorry, the filament, the tentacles over here. And let's see, just put it over here. Now let's watch this very closely. This is the first rinse. Over this side it looks a little bit more silver, this side it still looks a little bit more blackish. But do not touch using any external object. Do not have that temptation to touch it. It's a very delicate part. It's going to damage it, and the MAP sensor, once it is damaged, it will cost you a lot of money. So do not do that. So this is the first phase of actually spraying it up, and stay tuned. I'm going to show you the second phase. So I have put my MAP sensor inside this Ziploc, and I pour some amount of isopropyl alcohol. Place it over here. So the whole idea is over here. Rinse it. You can take any plastic bag. Pardon the background noise, I can't help it. So I'm just going to rinse it, and this is probably going to get some little bit of a force applied on that particular tentacle, and the alcohol is going to clean up small particles of dust. You know, even a speck of dust on that very thin, minute, delicate tentacle, even a speck of dust could actually change the value of how much of the air is going inside. So once in a while, it's good if you can just give it a clean. There are different shapes of these MAP sensors also available, and mostly they are all located after the air filter and before the engine air intake area. So this is over here good to go. And once in 20,000-30,000 kilometers, you can just open it up carefully and just clean it up. In my case, I haven't opened it since thousands of kilometers. I never did it actually. Maybe workstation guys. I also don't believe the workstation guys, the authorized guys, did this thing on my vehicle. So maybe 20,000-30,000 kilometers, you can open it up and give it a good amount of clean. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to just get it couple of more rinse and get back to you in a moment. Okay, so using the isopropyl alcohol, I've just given this good clean, couple of sprays over here, and I've just rinsed it in a Ziploc bag. Now what you do, let this sit for maybe 1 or 2 hours, completely dry. The isopropyl alcohol would dry quite quickly, maybe within 1 or 2 hours. It's just going to just dry it. Just give it a couple of shakes so that the excess of the liquid is coming out, because this is electrical component, so everything should be dry. Let it sit for dry, maybe 1 or 2 hours or maybe 3 hours, depending upon the situation. You don't mind a little bit sitting more for a couple of more hours. Let it dry and then again install it. Once you install this, just see the earlier part of this video, how I opened it. Once you install this over here, put those 2 screws It's going to be in line. The screws are going to fit. Gently push the electrical socket over here. In my case, I have to reattach the battery because I have disconnected the negative of the battery, and then go for a drive, maybe 10, 15, 30 kilometers, something like that. And the CPU is going to relearn the newer values after the slightly cleaned up mass airflow sensor, the MAP sensor, that how much of the air is actually getting inside. The CPU is going to relearn and accordingly start pumping in the diesel coming in, the other components, the parameters are going to be recalibrated and accounted for. So let it just dry and then reinstall back. So I'm going to just put it up for drying, and yeah, that's it. Yes, so this MAP sensor, I left it for drying, maybe almost an hour or something like that. Since it was alcohol, rubbing alcohol, isopropyl alcohol, it evaporates quickly. So this is quite cleaned, and this is done. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to install it over here. You need to just press it so that it latches properly, and then I'm going to just put these two screws. So I'm just going to explain you one or two things before actually fitting this thing. So I'm going to explain you over here. What happens is, as I explained you, the tentacles were cleaned with isopropyl alcohol, and that was a very, very cheap like household method to clean those tentacles about the mass airflow. There are specialty sprays available as well. I've seen on the internet as well. I've seen in the Amazon and the market as well. The problem with those things is, actually there's not a problem, it's just expensive. Those cans, I've seen this couple of those cans, the spray cans cost around 2,000, 3,000 rupees, and most of them are not available, manufactured in India. And the main component of those spray cans is also isopropyl alcohol, which we already used it. And just to create the pressure, that there is some kind of propellant as well. These are the most common ingredients about those sprays, and the force of the spray is good enough so it could actually pressurize and clean it up those small tentacles. In my kind of a spray bottle, it was like very small droplets were coming, so maybe next time if I want to do it, I'll use a bigger pressure bottle or something like that. So as I told you, those spray cans are available. Those are specialty spray cans with isopropyl alcohol. Do not use carb cleaners. There are carburetor cleaners available, there are throttle body cleaners available, or WD-40 or any of those cleaners. Do not use that on mass airflow sensor. The reason is those are oily, and what happens is if you spray it, it may be cleaning it well, but because of the oily nature of those throttle body cleaners, intake cleaners and all those cleaners, the dust will attract very quickly to that. Hence we need to keep it absolutely dry and cleaned using this. So this is done, and I'm just going to install it, connect my wires over here and put those screws. And after that, in my case, the battery terminals, I'm going to just install the battery terminals and then go for a drive. So it did remove some small amount of dust, and I'm going to observe the performance. I'm sure there will be small amount of performance gain, and maybe over a maybe 15-20 kilometers drive I would be going to get the new ECU bit read in, and the new values would be fed into the ECU, and that's good to go for now. So I'm sure this video would be quite helpful to many of the people who would like to do these kind of DIYs in their vehicles. And do check out my channel. There are a couple of more videos to do these kind of basic maintenance tasks about your car or your motorcycles. Do explore my channel, and take care, and just subscribe, like my channel, and all you take care. Bye bye, see ya.